Previously on Overtime.
Just quickly on the Blue Jays, you lose Reyes, you lose Jose. So,
And I'm not talking about my partner here.
no, I'm alive. I'm cast free. I don't have crutches. I didn't break my ankle.
So lose Kobe, like right now, and then also not to have him in playoffs. One, what are they going to do in playoffs, kind of thing? Like, are they going to be able to actually step up and mold and be good? Yeah, but I'm not great.
The arguments were, Kobe. Oh my goodness, I have
Tiger.
Tiger.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger.
Yep.
Tiger.
Last night, I'd like to say that I actually won my championship.
Did
for
you really?
Hockey. We came through.
Is the WWE or the WWF, if you're an old-time fan, the World Wrestling Entertainment, is it a sport or is it entertainment?
I can make my dog play poker, and if I really wanted to.
Well, my dog can take you on and he'll just shut
Buddy.
you down. It's good to be back, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A fun little break.
Oh
but
boy.
now-
Welcome back, Chris.
Welcome back, Jose.
Oh boy. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Overtime. I'm Jose.
And I'm Chris.
And yeah, like we said, it's good to be back. What is episode 4, I think?
4 or 5.
I don't know. We've been gone for a while. You lose track of a lot of things. So
That's okay. We needed a break after all the finals
Yeah.
and all the
Oh, yeah.
projects.
How was your break, anyways?
I was alright. Didn't do much. Just basically worked,
Mm-hmm.
played hockey, and that's about it. What about you?
Just I want to like, well, not something. Just clear my mind out. Like just do a lot of stuff. Play baseball with a whole lot of friends. But it's good to be back. Even though we had an awkward start to the semester, but it's good to be back. Our professor didn't even show up. That was just
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that,
Yeah.
but maybe she doesn't show up. Then we just all get A's and we pass the course.
Yeah, I know, right? At least we passed last semester. That's a relief. Now.
Oh man, I was excited. I'm like, because I didn't know how to check my final grade, so I was like, man, did I just fail everything? I'm like, oh no.
Not that almost everybody in our program left, but
Yeah.
at least you're around. But not only have we been busy, but the world of sports as well, right, Chris? And
Oh man, always, especially with playoffs.
and I think there's just gonna be one topic that's gonna be focused on today, and that's obviously the Toronto Maple Leafs. And of course, a couple of weeks ago, we're so excited. They're in the playoffs, we're jumping for joy, and now
We're hanging on to.
we're oh boy.
So now the series is 3-1 for Boston,
Where do you even begin?
which really we should have won that game last night.
I agree.
We had a 2-0 lead
Mm-hmm.
after going into the second, and then somehow we kind of just screw that up, and then 2-2, and then
You get the 3-2 goal. Krejci, what is that his name?
Yeah.
Krejci? Yeah, I don't even want to say his name. And he gets the go ahead, and then you
we
get
tie it up.
MacArthur
Yep,
steps up.
and he gets that right through the 5-hole.
You go into overtime, and the shots that they might have taken was just unbelievable. In overtime.
Even before we get into like overtime.
yeah, just before
Just the game in general, it was a really good game. It was really exciting. I was actually at the game on Monday.
Did you actually ended up going?
I was at the game on Monday, and let me tell you, the atmosphere is just outrageous. It's incredible.
I can imagine. You didn't invite me.
And I know, sorry. And when we when we scored the goals there, man, it was electrifying. It was crazy.
Where were you
Everybody was
seated?
going. Sorry.
Where were you seated?
I actually wasn't inside. I was at the Leaf Square.
Oh, and Maple Leafs. Oh, that doesn't
Yeah.
count. Well, oh no,
It-
but
it counts,
It
though.
counts.
It counts.
Okay, let me say it
Because
counts.
let me tell you, there were still a few thousand people out there. They had the cops and then cops on horses and everything, and they had everything gated off. It was crazy.
I think I heard only a maximum of 3,000 people were allowed at Maple Leaf
Yeah.
Square.
So that's exactly what it was. Like, there's a few thousand of us. It was crazy. Everybody was going nuts. And there's a few people that had Boston jerseys, and those people really, were not liked. And it was there's actually a few fights that broke out, and this
I heard
guy
in the
got he got carried out with cuffs. He got arrested. Actually, I have pictures of it, but I'll show you later. It was actually pretty funny.
But I mean, that was, I heard I had a friend that went Monday as well. He said it was electric. He wanted me to go yesterday, but I was in
Yeah.
Brampton, and then he wanted me to go Friday. I said sure. I don't even know if I want to go anymore on Friday.
Well, the game's Saturday. It's not Friday.
I thought it was a Friday night game.
I thought it was Saturday. I could be wrong, but I thought it was Saturday.
I don't know. Either way, it's just a game that we're just all scared to see because that's
Well, here's the thing. Now we're going into Boston, right? And it's like we really needed to get that win.
I mean, and they can pull off the win in Boston. He done it in game 2. That's where Kessel stepped up.
I know, but here's the thing, though. It would have been nice to get
Oh,
that win like last night, having the series
Of
tied
course.
2-2, going into Boston, and then imagine, sweeping another game in Boston. Now it's 3-2. Coming back to Toronto, and then Game 7 would be in
It is just
Boston
such a tough
again.
mountain to climb. I mean, you look at the odds against the Leafs. Then they have to win the next 3 games, and obviously with the Kraken in Boston, knowing that they're a win away from from a win, series win.
Here's the deal. If we played the way that we did last night, with all that hype, and like we started playing a physical game,
Mhm.
kind of like game 2 when we won, that's how we have to play against Boston, because Boston's a very physical team. So as soon as you start playing like physical with them, they start getting tired. Like you saw in like that overtime, we were being really
Oh, yeah.
aggressive,
You
and
just-
most of it was in like it was mostly in like Boston zone.
I just feel like it's one thing that the Leafs just like were capitalizing on doing is putting pressure. I mean, they've been struggling that for a while, and they finally was able to do it with Boston for like so far the series. They put pressure and pressure and pressure, regardless.
Yeah.
Even if though they ended up losing 3 games, but the pressure they put on them really got to them. Of course, they had to rethink, they had to re-strategize, and the Leafs were taking advantage of that really well at some points. And then, of course, you look at the mistake that happened last night at the end of the game. By the way, the game is Friday night. It is Friday night.
Yeah, I just checked. It is Friday.
It is Friday, and
yeah.
it's just
Thought it was
like,
Saturday.
if we were to look at the mistakes, where would you begin? Would you start in the overtime loss, or do you go throughout an overall
No, I
series?
go directly. Well, not directly, but one thing is Reimer's been solid.
Oh yeah.
I can't knock him, but there's only one little part of his game just he kind of developed in playoffs now.
Mhm.
He just seems to be a little bit shaky with those rebounds.
Oh
and
yeah.
that's where Boston's have been getting a lot of their goals.
Mm-hmm.
Like Reimer's has been playing great. He's stopping a lot of stuff. But basically, the way that Boston's getting their goals is off of rebounds,
I agree with you, because I mean,
or just sloppy defensive plays.
looking at the game, looking at the first 2 goals that Boston allowed in, Reimer, like they kind of just cut in there. Reimer off the rebound, and of course, distracting immediately. There was a shot, and then like I know the last goal, the game winner, like was to the 5-hole. So I think that's another concern.
Well, the game winner was just it was garbage, and I guess we might as well just talk about it now anyway.
Yeah.
But basically, 2 things happened that was bad. Okay.
All right.
Well, 3. But anyway, the first thing was Phaneuf tried to make that big hit. 1, you don't need to be doing that, especially in a series tied 2-2. Or sorry, it was tied
Game 3-3. It was
yeah.
3-3 game.
And it's like you don't do that. This like you're also trying to. You lost the game, so you're trying to tie the series up. You don't need to make that big hit.
If anything, that big hit should have come like in regulation, not
Exactly, not in overtime. Everybody knows you do not pinch.
You don't.
There's no need for a pinch
You
at
don't.
that time, especially. And then second, that causes a 2-on-1. So now there's an odd man rush coming back.
And of course, you can look at if you look at the replay. I mean, you look at the Leafs players; they realize what happened with Krejci. I keep Krejci. He's on the run. Now, obviously, they got to reset. And I
Yep.
saw like some TSN analysts what they were doing, and they made valid points. Like they couldn't get to the rush on time, and by the time they made it,
because
Krejci goes like halfway.
Because they weren't expecting him not even to take the puck.
No.
The Leafs weren't expecting Phaneuf to make that hit. They were
Mhm.
expecting him to get that puck on the boards and get it back deep or regroup. You know what I mean? So that's why they're still in like their zone, but he tried to pull that big hit. And then so that created a odd man rush. But then also whoever was on D, I don't remember who,
Mhm.
but
I think it was Colton Orr.
No, it wasn't
It
Orr.
wasn't Orr. No.
But basically, also who was back on D with him didn't do a good play either. Because first of all, on that 2-on-1, there's 2 things that like you can do being a defenseman. 1, you always take you give the shooter to the goalie, and you worry about the guy on the rebound. So you don't worry. So that like the D, you rather take him out like to the side, make him have that bad angle shot. Or you give the shot to the goalie, so he has a full view, and you worry about the rebound.
Mhm.
Another thing that that you can do, or slash I don't know why he didn't do, was if you see he backed all the way up into Reimer when he was skating, so he's going backwards and he's skating all the way up into Reimer, and he's leaving the guy with the puck open. He's right in the middle, which you're not supposed to do. If you're gonna be doing that, then once you hit that hash marks, you drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
when
just,
he
I
tries
just-
to make
yeah.
like that pass or play, like it's not gonna happen. And now he's forced to go around the net. He doesn't have an option now. So that's why you drop. You
Mhm.
take away the pass. You basically take away the shot. Or if he shoots, you're gonna be blocking it because it was only a few inches off like the ground the shot. So if he dropped, it would have hit him. It might have hurt, but he would have saved the goal. And it would have been a big play.
I mean, I looked at the replay again this morning when I woke up, and you see, like he had room to dive. He had room to at least stop
He
it.
could have done a lot. Like I know it's the heat of the moment. Everything happens
Yeah.
within like seconds, but that's textbook hockey though.
Mm-hmm. It's just, oh boy.
You're in the NHL, boys. You know how to deal with this. It's textbook hockey.
I felt like that could have gone to at least second overtime. I felt like the game could have gone a lot longer than
Here's the deal. If we stop that, I think it wouldn't even have gone to a second overtime. The way that the Leafs were playing
Mhm.
and the pressure that they were putting on there, we basically could have scored like 3 times in that overtime.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, you have to give credit to Rask and what he was doing.
No,
in that
absolutely.
Net.
Like, he stood on his head. He stood on his
Oh
head.
yeah, of course.
But not to take anything away from the Leafs from
No.
being able to to get those shots off, putting all that pressure on Boston,
Mhm.
like playing a physical game, completely different Leafs.
Yeah, man, it's still tough to sink in with the way that it all ended out. I believe in that last couple of minutes, how it all came
Well, man, that was just what a crappy way to lose.
Oh yeah,
basically.
It's I mean, I felt like if we were, to me, I wasn't even I know I wasn't angry that we lost. I mean, I get it, we lose. What I got angry about was just the way that it happened, the way that Dion just took that big gamble. I mean, it was just, oh boy. I mean, it was like I said, great hit, unbelievable hit actually, like huge, but just that hole was there and it's.
I don't need that though.
No,
I don't need that.
nobody did. So yeah, you're going, and now this is also this is something we brought up as well. I mean, after that happened, I mean, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook often, and the amount of tweets that I got about Phaneuf, which is pretty ugly. And the biggest one that came up was the biggest question: should he be captain or not?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, I never thought he should have been captain in the first
Uh-huh.
place. You know what? I would have given it to Kessel, but that's
Yeah.
because, in a way, first of all, you got him and you're making him your franchise player, and you don't give him anything.
I just,
How do you?
I
you know what I mean?
remember when he came in. I remember the hype that he came in at the time, and I feel like the hype really got to the management at the time, and they're like, you know what, this is our captain. And of course, I mean, you look at it this way. I mean, like he barely just came in. They were having trouble deciding at the time. Remember, it was between Kessel and Dion,
Yeah.
and it just look how it ended up at the end of it, you know. And now I have people saying, oh, it should be people like Lupul or Bozak or Kadri that should wear that C.
Not Bozak, not Kadri.
That's what I've been hearing, but
But if anything, Lupul, yeah, sure. Even Van Riendijk has been stepping up huge
Mhm.
for us. You know what I mean? Dion maybe is more verbal in the dressing room, so I hear, than Kessel, because I know Kessel's a little bit of a quieter guy.
Mhm.
But man, sometimes it doesn't matter. Because I know Kessel on the ice, he tries to do the best that he can. He's always ripping those shots. He's scoring. He's throwing hits. He does whatever he can. He back checks, and that's all signs of a good captain too. Where Phaneuf, this guy's always looking for that big play. And it's you
Yeah.
don't need that.
You don't.
We get it.
It's eventually the small
You're-
steps that eventually get you to.
You know what I mean?
To that, yeah.
It's it's a game of inches, and he just really screwed up.
Mhm.
He really screwed up. And now they're going to be having to play 5 times harder now going into Boston, because now they're down 3-1. They won this, they're back 2-2, and it's a 50-50 series now. It's back to
Yeah.
a game 1 essentially.
Now going into Game 5, which is tomorrow night, what are you thinking? What do you think should be done for Game 5? What do you think? I mean, because you obviously have a lot to say. You're obviously the more hockey guy than I am, right? So going into Game 5 tomorrow, what do you think?
Basically, there's not much that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You go in, you tell your players, you tell everybody. It's more just if you want to play another game, you leave everything out on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really change much. It is what it is. You kind of just tell everybody this is what's gonna happen. You guys need to step it up. It's you guys now. I can't do anything.
It is gonna.
I tell you guys how to play, and then you go and you throw a big hit like that in an overtime game.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't we can't afford to sit anybody. We can't afford to call somebody up or send anybody down.
no.
It's too late for that. So you're stuck with the guys that we have, and basically hopefully that they show up. If they played the way that they played last night, minus some of the stupid plays,
Yeah.
and the way that they played in game 2, and they beat Boston.
Oh yeah.
They came out hard. They played that physical game and shoot, and that's the number one thing too. They just got to start taking a lot more shots on net.
Oh yeah.
Rasky's a great
Oh,
goalie.
yeah.
He's a great
And
goalie.
in fact, I feel like they finally did that in overtime. I mean, like just
Right.
like when I'm not seeing shot after shot. And the one thing that bothered me, but I do think they need more because Kuhlman was a perfect example last night. I forgot what minute it was in, but he had the puck,
And he
a
didn't
clear
shoot,
shot, and
yeah.
he's just there,
Yeah,
like
he took an
slowly
extra
with the
move.
puck, and I'm just like, oh god, no shoot, and he had to pass it back, and then eventually
Yeah.
it went beyond the blue line. He had to reset.
Reset,
Like I saw
yeah.
that, I'm like, oh god, what like Kuhlman. I mean, I think that's another thing too. Like if you have chances like that, if you have it. Don't try to be nice. Don't try to be all cool.
There's no need to be
Shoot.
fancy. Just shoot that puck.
Just shoot. I felt like
a goal's a goal, even if it goes off like someone's butt and goes in the net.
off a shoot
Doesn't
like,
matter.
It
a goal's a
doesn't
goal.
matter.
And at this point, we got to take it.
Mhm.
And I don't even know what to say. Like, basically, they just got to come out hard. They got to do, they got to play like their game. Boston, as like you can see, is a very beatable team. They're a strong team, but they're beatable. We did it in game 2. Even like last night, we were still able to get like 3 goals on them. We jumped off to an early 2-0 lead. You see what happens when
Yeah.
we shoot.
Then I remember hearing like some I actually the mind just flew out of me. Oh, Boss is an experienced team, but
Of course, 'cause,
they're an experienced team. But I think at the end of it all, I don't think it really comes down to experience. It comes down to who can play. I mean, I don't think experience really.
Well, who wants it more, right?
Exactly. I mean, I don't think experiences could be much of an excuse because I mean those guys played at least last night and game 2, which
We
I'm
all
gonna
play
use
the
those
same amount
examples.
of hockey.
Yeah. So
But they just got to come out hard. They got to do their game, and they can beat Boston.
mhm.
We've all seen it, and it's just a matter of time. If they don't, then guess what? That's the end of the Leafs
Mhm.
playoff run.
Yeah, that's it. So tomorrow, Game 5 at the TD Gardens in Boston.
I hope everybody's going to be supporting our Leafs.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be. The one side of me says watch the game. The other side says just steer away. It's oh boy.
Yeah. I
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll be watching it. Like
Yeah, I mean,
tomorrow night.
like, yeah, I've seen it last night. I'll definitely watch it tomorrow, probably. So,
Yeah.
I'll, of course, I just, hope for the best. Switching gears now, because we actually have a little bit of extra time. Did you hear what happened to J Happ from the Blue Jays?
No, I
A
don't
couple
think
nights ago.
so.
All right, a couple nights ago, he in the bottom of the second, Desmond Jennings hits a line drive straight to his head. Straight, he was knocked out cold, unconscious. He got rushed to the hospital. He left with a head something.
Contusion?
Thank you. He left with that and a broken knee, he left with the kneecap. It was actually an ugly line drive to the head. Like it was.
No way.
He left like a bang. He was like busted open. He was bloodied up. He was down for like a good 5 minutes, and of course with a pitch like that, straight to the head. Like literally, like I'm showing you right now, right here, it kills, right? So, I think this is one debate that we could bring up now that we got some time. Should pitchers out there wear helmets or not? It's been brought up before by the Major League Baseball. It's been brought up by many. It's a sparked up debate. Should pitchers out there wear helmets or not? Some of the arguments are the pitchers are going to feel uncomfortable with the helmet or some sort of
Yeah.
protection because they just want to solely focus on delivering the pitch every time they go up there. Other arguments say, well, in cases like that happens, you could end up losing your career. You could end up losing a whole lot more than just a
Yeah.
simple hit to the head. So what do you like hearing that? Because you didn't hear about this. It's the first time you're hearing this.
Yeah, I didn't know that, to be honest.
It was really bad. I mean, I would pull up a video now, but I just don't have enough
no
time.
worries.
So what do you think should happen? It's not the first time it's happened. It's happened to many Major League Baseball players. Brandon McCarthy.
I
last year
think
in
what it
Oakland.
is, it's more of like one of those things that it's one in like every 100,000 kind of
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that it happens. It's very unfortunate when it happens.
Mhm.
It's never fun for anybody,
No.
and like I said, it's always an unfortunate thing.
I mean,
like, when it does.
The last time I saw it happen was probably in September. Brandon McCarthy off a Torrey Hunter base hit line drive
Yeah.
straight to the head as well. He ended up fine after that.
But I think it's also, like for these pitchers, it's kind of, it might not like you got to think like they can't. It has to be a special helmet though, because it can't be just like a batter's helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys are pitching with so much force and
Yeah.
they're always moving forward. Every time that helmet's just gonna fall off.
Trust me, like
You
I
know
wear
what I mean?
I wear that helmet sometimes, and it's so tight on you that you can barely move your head. To be honest,
Yeah.
right? And I know like as you like deliver a pitch. I just
Yeah.
hit the microphone.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Like when you deliver a pitch and it comes on full force, right? You move your head, and obviously you need time to react, and that helmet won't really allow it. So they've been
Yeah.
also suggesting, like, in the bottom part of the cap, like a small brace around the rim, around the front of the cap, or
Okay.
at least around on the side, to also protect them as well. But they said no because they're going to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's the thing. They could do it, but they could make it as like a optional thing. Like for
Mhm.
example, going back to hockey, people that wear visors and people that don't wear visors. So the option's there, but not everybody does it.
Franson got hit in the head, didn't he?
He
Yesterday?
did.
Yeah.
But if he was wearing a visor, he still would have got hit in the head, but the visor would have protected him.
Yeah.
Probably would have cracked the visor. Fine, you put a new one on, but he wouldn't have been injured.
Yeah, like I mean, I was on my way home actually because I was in Brampton and I had to go home. And like as when I got home, I heard that he got hit in the head. I was like really
Yeah.
surprised. So like that's just another perfect example.
Yep.
Right.
And then also with like high sticks and stuff like that, or just like pucks, everything. Having a visor I think is a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but some people don't want to wear it, and sometimes like it's an unfortunate thing, like I said, but things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of like something that maybe the MLB needs to like look at, like maybe develop something
Yeah.
and just have it as like an option.
Mhm.
Maybe some pitchers will wear it, other pitchers won't, but at least there's some sort of like precaution that's out there for them.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a debate that's been brought up for so long. It really sparked up when Brandon McCarthy got hit, and now J Happ goes down like a blue.
Yeah.
Especially obviously when it's a Blue Jay, it obviously puts a bigger concern because you're from the city he's at.
Yeah.
And I mean, the look on the concerned faces. And then this is actually another issue as well. When J Happ got hit, he had two runners that scored in. Actually, two runners scored
Yeah.
in, one for second, one from third, and the batter who hit J Happ ended up moving to third. And then this also caused another debate, in which even like a professor here at Centennial, Shai Davidi, who's actually works with Sportsnet, actually brought this up in one of his articles. Should the play be dead, or should it not after a hit like that? I mean, like, I know in hockey sometimes when a hit like that happens, the play
is dead.
the play will die. In soccer, if you see an injury on the floor, a
You
player
kick it
will
out of
purposely
bounds.
kick it out.
Yeah.
Not that because it's a rule, but because of their own judgment. In hockey,
Yeah.
it's a rule. In soccer, it's their own judgment. So in the MLB, when stuff like this happens, should they stop the play? Should they go on, or should players use judgment? Because you had managers like John Gibbons, Jose Bautista, all trying to run in, but they couldn't because that ball was still in play, which allowed the runner to score and which allowed Desmond Jennings
I think
to
it's
go
a
to third.
fine line because there's sometimes where, like you said, like it hits the player, but then they're fine. They're shaken up. The person just gets the first, but like you know what I mean. But I guess something like that. So, but then there's other times where like this happens and the player's knocked out. His head's like cut open. Do you really just let the play go? Like it's definitely a fine line.
I mean, to me, I felt like the judgment or like the right thing to do was to stop at first. I don't think just Jennings should have gone to third.
I think I wouldn't. Yeah, if I saw that and I knew that and like everybody else saw that, I wouldn't be trying to like getting a triple off of.
Because I looked at the replay, and when I was looking at the play, right, yeah, Desmond Jennings was there in shock. But then when I saw the indicator on the screen, he was at third. And I'm like, what is he doing at third? And why would if anything, I think the runner should move up one base. And Escobar was there. He was doing so he came in regardless. Molina came in. I think he should have stayed at third because of that play was there. So they could have the runners at the corners, which I think should have stayed like that, but no. So instead they advanced. So, I mean, should the MLB try to imply a rule? Because there's a yes and no rule. There's like the umpires are allowed to stop a play if they think in their own judgment is something wrong or extreme. It's rare, but they don't really imply it. And then no, because the ball is still in play. It's within the foul lines. It's good to go.
I'm sure they can try and implement something and think of some sort of rule. I don't think it's never a bad idea. You're always trying to protect the players. So, in that aspect, I don't think it's ever a bad thing. And will they? Maybe. Is it about time that they start? Who knows? Because like I said, it's something that's very unfortunate, but it's also something that doesn't happen extremely often as well.
Yeah, again, this is only the second time I'm saying this in like about a span of 8 months.
It's kind of just even that I say is like weird that this happens like twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's how rare. Like I mean, like, but. Sorry.
For the record, we have our friend Connor in the room with us, and she is just
Shout
cracking
out.
up. I do not know why.
Apparently, we
Yeah.
don't make sense.
That's not new.
That's true.
It's not the first time that people told us that we didn't make sense. But Chris, what can we do, right?
We're the best, Jose, so
I
don't worry
know.
about it. We don't need nobody. We don't need nobody.
Why did we invite her into the room? I'm kidding. Now we have some time to spare. We have about 5 minutes left. So do you want to just do our pick of the series? Now, for the record, actually, I just want to bring that up. The last time we were here, we made picks about who would win that day. It was actually we came close. What happened? I didn't write it down, but
I went 6 for 7 because
Yeah.
the one game got canceled.
for the Boston bombings. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was the Bruins and the Ottawa game, right?
Yeah,
But that eventually got made up. So
It did.
technically, you were 7 for 7.
I'm not sure. I can't remember who won that game, to be honest.
Boston won it because
Boston,
that
okay.
determined the series. For
Oh
the Toronto.
yeah. That's true. That's true.
Blackhawks won that game. Blue Jack. No, you picked the Avalanche. You picked the Wild that day. The Blackhawks, the Canucks. I guess you went 7 for 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good day. I didn't play pro line, but I definitely should have that day.
All right, so now we got our full playoff bracket. One series is already down.
Yeah.
Vancouver is eliminated. Which, by the way, I'm sorry for
They
any
swept.
Vancouver fans, but you blow a 3-2
garbage,
lead in the
buddy,
third,
garbage.
and you lose in overtime. I mean, sure, that happened to the Leafs, but at least it didn't cost them a series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I expected Vancouver to be a lot better. They didn't. San Jose goes on. So, that makes... Anyway, so we got the Chicago-Minnesota series left. Chicago's leading at 3-1.
Yeah.
The
Chicago's
Ducks...
gonna take that.
The Ducks and the... Okay, here we go. Chicago. The Ducks and the Red Wings. The Anaheim Ducks won in overtime last night to
Yep.
take the series 3-2.
Anaheim's gonna win that.
Anaheim. The Blues and the Kings. I believe Kings won in overtime last night,
Yeah.
didn't they? 3-2 Kings.
At first, I was taking the Blues,
Mhm.
but now I guess the Kings, they got they're letting it run. They got all the power right now in their corner. So I think I might have to take the Kings.
Kings. This is an interesting series. The Penguins and the Islanders, which surprisingly is a 2-2 series.
I know, but the Pens, I'm not a Penguins fan,
No.
but they just have too much firepower and too much. They just got too much on the team.
All right,
they're gonna take.
I agree with you with everything else, but I'm gonna argue and I'm gonna say the Islanders only because they actually surprised. I mean, honestly, I don't think anybody
no, they
expected a
did.
2-win
No.
series,
Not at all.
right? And
Not at all.
I feel like if they were to pull it off, the amount of confidence that they would get for eliminating the number 1 seed would be unbelievable. So I'm gonna
absolutely.
I'm gonna go fun here. I'm gonna go pick the Islanders just to win the series.
Absolutely.
Next week when we come back, all series should be
Should be
set.
finished,
Should be set.
yeah.
This is an ugly series too. The Canadians and the Sens. The Sens are leading at
Oh.
3-1, and it's been.
Sens, I called it from day one.
Did you see that line brawl that they had in Game 2? Was it
Oh,
Game?
yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah.
And then of course there was a questionable icing call the last time they played in Game
Yep.
4. The questionable icing call which allowed Ottawa to tie it to
Like,
send to overtime
basically,
and win it.
cost them the game. But no, Ottawa's gonna take that.
Rangers and the Capitals. The Rangers kept alive by tying the series last
know.
night 4-3 final.
Although I still think the Caps are gonna win. I don't think they're gonna choke like this year. I think they're gonna take that series.
And do we want to pick on Boston and Toronto? Do we really?
No, we're gonna skip that one.
Oh boy. Oh well, just hope for the best. Well, and we're at 28 minutes. Just actually a quick half hour.
It is. I know. I guess we can wrap it up real quick.
Yeah, you get heated up with this whole playoff talk, and you hope for the best. Game 5 tomorrow.
Yep.
Boston, Toronto in Boston. Hope for the best. Hopefully we can come back next week.
Make sure you Leaf fans are watching tomorrow.
And hopefully we can come back next week on a positive note.
Absolutely.
So for overtime, I'm Chris. I'm Jose. What in the world? I am not Chris. I have not been Chris for the past 19 years. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm
It's
Jose.
okay. It's
I'm
only our second day back.
I'm Jose.
I'm Chris.
Goodness gracious. Oh, and we will see you
Next week.
next week. See ya.